We don't have to start really doing anything for another couple of minutes.
I'd wait until 5.
Well, okay. What do we do till 5?
Deborah, what can you tell me about this new show of yours?
Oh, we're starting.
No, we're pre-gaming.
Can I slide this back?
Yeah.
Until it just looks like
until it's a feature.
I don't know. It's still in my way.
Makes you look like you got a lumpy butt.
Yeah, I do have a lumpy butt.
Put it in the middle.
A lot of people don't realize that. There you go. Well, now I look fat. I liked it better over here. There we go. All right.
So let's say hey.
Time?
Yeah, we're just killing time.
I saw Jim Jam Jimmy's here.
I saw Jim Jam Jimmy is here, and he's got some beers going. Richard says he's ready for Uncle Matt and a beer. Thank you, Richard. Devin Riddle says, hey, Devin. Rod H is drinking coffee because he's still at work. That's a bummer. Doug Santaniello is here. Gary Redburn is here. Jim Murray's here. Hey, Uncle Matt's here too. Dave Hawkinson's here. How you guys doing, man?
Richard said, hey, Uncle Chris is here too.
Oh, did he? Oh, well, I just read what I wanted to read.
Yeah.
I
the
do
Matt
that.
Show.
Terry Himes is here. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We got a few minutes to sit around.
Dave says, happy Thursday, guys.
It is a happy Thursday. So I want to answer everyone's, like, if there's any questions, I want to get to those. But I also want to talk about what's in the toolboxes that we issue to guys at the classes. And we have a toolbox here.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Now, everyone's going to go, well, do we get to keep those tools? No, they're not good enough that you're going to want to keep them. Well, some of them you might, and we're talking about why we chose some of the stuff that we did. Carl's here, Curtis Lee, Chris Bullis, Mr. Michael Silva is here. That's cool. Too stressed for the workload. Yeah, we are in a lot of ways. Smoothie C is here. Robert Williams. So Chris walked in and he was like Rico Suave when he walked in this morning. I'm like, man, you were bummed out about your hairdo last night, but you came in like, slick and smooth.
Well,
you look way better than I did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jerry Freeze, ICBLF. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, we should put googly eyes on the microphone. Sweet Tea Guitars is here. How you doing, Todd? Brad Angove. Man, Brad Angove. But now we made it. We made it when Brad Angove is in the house. Thank you, Brad. Eddie B and Blues.
This one's for you, Brad.
This one's for me, Brad. I am a beer wuss. Those beers we had at lunch yesterday,
yeah,
I was like zooming. I don't know.
Good.
And I don't know. They weren't really that over the top, but yeah. Sean is here. Jim Bucket is here. Kay Cole is here. Carl Engstrom. BEERRUN. Beer Run. Dastardly Dave. Dastardly Dave. Okay, so we're ready to get going here.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Egan. So I'm going to christen Dave and Doug the Dangerous Brothers, because they're super cool guys, and they've been like they're all set to come back in November, and they're all signed up, and it's going to be awesome to have the Dangerous Brothers back in the shop for a week.
And there's more mayhem with both of them together than each of them individually.
It's way better. Yeah, it's way better when they show up together.
What do you call that? A multiplier?
Force multiplier.
Yes.
Or in their case, it's not a danger multiplier, but those guys are cool as the other side of my pillow.
Action multiplier.
Yes, that's right. Everybody who signed up for the class is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is, rumor has it that there might be an extra special outing. I'm not gonna say it in case it doesn't happen, but Jim Jam Jimmy says that there's a special outing that is open to everyone who's coming to
I keep forgetting he's in the class. I don't know why I keep forgetting that.
Why would you want to? Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you want to forget
Don't
that?
forget that,
Don't
dude.
forget that.
Mm.
You know what I like to do when Jim Jam Jimmy's playing?
Rock
after
out?
the show. No, after the show,
What?
while he's trying to load up, is just like stand
Just
there
go
and talk to
bum
him.
rush him while
Yeah.
he's trying to
I
load
thought he was
out.
all loaded up. And so I'm talking to him. He's like, yeah, well, I should probably get loaded up now before somebody steals all my stuff.
Yeah, that's a good move.
And then I didn't help him load up.
What a turd.
Yeah, I'm a jerk.
But you came up with TV green today.
I did, yeah.
TV green.
Sticky
guys.
pink
and TV green.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
was not a good day in the pink
It's
booth
not
for Chris.
sticky pink like you guys who are into innuendos are thinking. This is
No.
not an Italian suppository. This is actually paint that didn't dry, and it was all just so happened to be pink.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay.
Well, so but you know what, Chris? You sustain and improve. That's the 2-word version of the Mark Twain quote that I always say, better to for continued improvement rather than delayed perfection.
Mhm.
Sustain and improve. And that's what we do here.
Fail quickly.
Fail quickly is another one
And,
that,
yeah.
But I don't think people quite grasp the concept of fail quickly. What I mean when I say that is stuff happens. Sometimes you're going to mess stuff up.
Yeah.
Don't dwell on it. Just be, okay.
Beat myself up over it.
Yeah, got dorked up. So you move on.
If I kept beating myself up over all the things I've screwed up, and even in the last 6 months,
Sure.
I'd be bummed out.
Sometimes
all the time.
in the last 6 hours for me, like I'm like, God, how did I do that? So
yeah.
So building guitars is tricky, you guys, and the more you do it, the better you get. So sustain and improve, and that's one of the things that I like to say at all the classes is stuff like that. The other thing is, can today you build better guitars than yesterday you? But I streamline it to be, can today you kick yesterday you's ass? Which that
in
is
my case, no. I did some pretty solid paint work yesterday, and today.
That's a Pat McNamara quote. I did not come up with, can today you kick
Yeah.
yesterday you's ass? So,
Usually, yeah.
And by the way,
Paint is an elusive mistress.
it is. It's the hardest part of this whole thing.
Well,
By the way, sustain and improve is the Travis Haley thing. And I don't know where he got it. Maybe he made it up. So anyway. So guys, this is our weekly Q&A, and just kind of have a beer and kind of do some guitar stuff, but they're more fun than anybody else's, Q&A things. Speaking of Q&A things, I got some answers to questions about Great Guitar Build-Off judging from the new guy at Crimson. So we're going to talk about that on Sunday.
Simon?
I don't know that that's his name, but it might as well be. Yeah. And did you know that over there they put the dates there? They organize dates differently than I do. So they put the day first, and then the month, and then the year.
Yeah. There's not 25 months.
well, I looked at it and it said something like 5/7. We need to have all the entries in, and I'm like, well, that was 15 days ago. Are you sure? So, and then I looked and I'm like 25th. Yeah. So
yeah.
So I probably need to switch to the metric system. I probably need to start doing it like instead of month, day, year, day, month. That actually makes sense. But over here we do it month, day, year. I think, right? I don't know.
I think we should do year.
Yeah.
The way we should do it is what day out of 365 days is it?
Yes.
It's a manufacturing way to do it. Yeah. So right now, if we're 6 months in, we're at 157.21.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right, that's cool.
Really.
We'll forget that.
No, nobody will know. Yeah. 208. How many months is that?
Yeah.
Because then you have to learn how to divide by 30 or
It's
31.
It's a
29.
real winner.
Yeah, it really is.
So anyway, so guys, this is the most fun. How about this? We can't say this is the only guitar question and answer brought to you by Real Guitar Builders anymore. We used to could say that, and now we can't. This is still the most fun, though.
Yep.
I think. Who else is going to say innuendo and mean it like the Italian suppository?
Innuendo.
Hey, innuendo.
Yeah.
And of course, that reminds me that we're brought to you by a good ends at Flipside Music, the Great American Guitar Store. Not because they stick it in your endo, but because every time I talk to Ike, I develop an accent that I have never had to a place that I've never been before. But Ike is just so much fun that you can't help but go, "Hey, it's Ike from Flipside Music." Hey, it's just,
every time he shows up,
he's just one of the more fun characters,
and you want to make him do it. So
and it doesn't take much.
It's real easy to go, "Hey, what are you? Hey,
that
gets him going.
Yeah, just the one syllable, really. Or how many syllables is it? Hey. That's still, it's really 3 or 4, but it's still 1. Anyway, so this is still the most fun guitar building Q&A that is done weekly, brought to you by real guitar players and our good friends at Flipside Music, the Great American Guitar Store. Guys, check out Flipside when you're in the Denver area. And if you're not going to be in the Denver area, their website is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do you know what happens tomorrow at Flipside Music, the Great American Guitar Store?
I do, but I'll let you tell them.
Ike closes on the new shop building. Now, that doesn't mean that the new shop is going to be open tomorrow, but they close on the building, and then they're going to go in and do a bunch of stuff. I am really excited because it's going to be huge, and it's going to be cool, and I'm just really happy for Ike. And he should be damn proud of himself because that's a cool thing, and he's buying the building. So yeah. Maybe one day we can buy a building.
Yeah, that would be really neat.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, we'll just keep taking over more and more space here. Then we'll buy this building. We'll be moved in.
We'll already be moved in.
It'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Somebody
better kill them weeds out there is all I know. It's bad. Okay. So, Chris, are there any questions before we are?
Yes. Rod wants to know what kind of glue do you use when gluing on wood binding?
Rod wants to know what kind of glue we use. Rod, I could just say that we use Titebond, but the fact of the matter is that if I could only have one glue in the shop, it would be Titebond Original. Like that's not even, it's a no-brainer. It does so many things so well. Now, we're not gluing PVC pipe to other PVC pipe, but I have a feeling that it would do that reasonably well too. So we absolutely will use wood glue for wood binding. Is this the rod that's coming to the Build and Paint with Mike Learn in November?
I believe so, yeah.
Because that guitar is going to have maple binding on the neck, which is super, super cool. Mike actually picked up the guitar, the prototype, body and neck, and he's going to take that and paint that. Now, it's going to be a little while before he does it because he's got other stuff to do. You know what I mean? Like his daughter's getting married in a little bit. And so he's a busy guy. But don't be surprised when you see a video from Mike Learn painting the prototype Rockabilly Bow. It's going to be awesome. So, yeah.
Cool. Ed Billy B and Blues wants to know, is email still the best way to hear from you guys?
Email is positively the best way to get in touch with me. And that's still not, there's no great way to get in touch with me. You know what I mean? Because there's machines running all the time. There's classes going on. Like I've just resigned myself to when there's a class going on, I don't have time to get back to anybody. And it's not because I don't like those people. It's because I just don't have time. You know, classes take up a huge amount of time. And then usually, like if I come in early to try to get emails done, someone's here waiting. So I don't get any emails done then. And guys want to like do stuff after the class, and I want to do that stuff with them. So, you know, so there's just not a whole ton of time for email and phone calls during those class weeks. I'll try, but there's no guarantee. So I guess what I'm driving at is if you send me an email on Monday, on the Monday of a class week, I will probably not get back to you for a week. You know what I mean? Unless you, and brevity is really important because guys send me these big long things of like, hey, me and my uncle made this thing, and I'm like, that's cool, but let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. That is going to give me the highest chance of getting back to you on time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a good question.
Okay.
Sweet Tea Guitars asks.
Todd from Sweet Tea.
Yep. Chris, do you think clear polyester base coat, and I think he means blender, not binder, blender,
Okay.
would work as a sealer? It can be activated or not. You could answer this as well at Brad Angove. And then Brad also says, interested in
How is
Chris's
Brad
thoughts on
Angove going to
that.
know? No, I'm teasing.
Catalyzed
Brad.
clear polyester works as a very fast sealer. I don't know. I've never tried clear polyester blender. I've used clear urethane blender
Okay.
before, and it probably depends on the wood. You know, I really don't know. If you're trying to seal up ash, I don't think it's going to work very well.
Are you 100% satisfied with the sealer mid coat, base coat, and top coat that we're using now?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What would it take for you to go, yeah, let's switch to that other thing?
It would just have to work in less coats.
Or so like speed, maybe like dry cure time is
So something that I've been I've been aware of it for quite a while, but you know, whether it's grain filler or Simtech or whatever you're trying to lay down on top of the wood first, the first thing you're trying to get it to do is stop absorbing material. The wood needs to stop absorbing the material. And so the first round of Simtech, really that's all it's doing is it's soaking in the wood, and then hopefully it's stopping fairly quickly and allowing the next coats to build on top of that.
We actually kind of discovered something about Simtech the other day, and we're the jury's still out. So tell everyone how we do Simtech.
So let's just talk about mahogany.
Okay, yeah,
because this is what we were using it on.
So we're comparing apples.
And normally,
to apples.
what we do is we shoot a round of Simtech in the morning and let that soak in and start to cure, start to dry, and then we'll shoot another round in the afternoon. So the guitar has 2 rounds of sealer on it.
Have we ever done more than 2 in one day?
Well, yeah, and it just keeps building and gets lumpier and lumpier. And then we sand that back, and then we'll go in and we'll shoot another round. Hold on, wait.
So we get one. So like if we started on Monday, for the sake of argument, start on Monday with Simtech, and we spray 2 courses during the day.
During that day.
What day do we start sanding the Simtech back?
I usually like to wait 2 days.
Okay, so you'd be Thursday then.
Sure.
Before you were sanding the Simtech. Sure. This, by the way, guys, is one of the reasons that we don't offer a paint class.
Yeah.
It's just there's dry time. And I get it, there's UV stuff, but
we could sand on Wednesday.
Okay.
And we've done that before.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's just say that. And we'd sand that back, get it completely smooth. The bad part of that is it's still sinking into the grain a little bit, but it's also built up on that grain. Or not on that grain, but on the hard parts of the wood. So it's pretty.
The end grain is very different from the
grain is way different. Yeah. So this last time we did it, we shot our round in the morning.
Which I shot the round in the morning and then basically forgot to go in.
Forgot to shoot the second round. And you don't want to just shoot more Simtech over it once it's gotten hard. Yeah. Mike Learn told us that you can have problems with it adhering.
We've done that. We did that once or twice, and it worked all right.
Yeah. And you might have problems, you might not. But anyway, I went to sand it, and it's super easy to sand because it's basically the same. It's really, you're just scuffing it up a little bit. Yeah. It's as flat as it was when you finished sanding before your first round of Simtech. So that sanding went really fast. And then I shot one round and they looked really, really good. And I did another round and they looked really, really, really good. Yeah. So we may reverse the order. Yeah,
I'm wondering if
on some more stuff.
I'm wondering if
how much those have on them.
Yeah, that might not be the bad idea to like.
And it could also just be this mahogany.
That could be too, because there's mahogany and then there's mahogany. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm all for if I can spend 5 or 10 minutes less per guitar sanding it in between rounds of sealer, I'm all for that. So yeah, that might be something. And you just let that first coat soak in and stop.
Yep. And grain filler works to a certain extent.
Mhm.
In some instances, though, it's just an extra step that is just an extra step for the sake of an extra step. So.
Mhm. Yeah, I think so, and it still soaks in, and the sealer pulls the grain filler in. And
Mhm.
I got real excited one time and did some grain filler and thought I got it really flat, I got it really smooth.
Yep.
It was Timbermate, which I actually liked,
Mhm.
but I used it as grain filler. I started shooting, and it all just sucked in, and it had a weird tone to it. Yeah, you did drywall mud at one point.
I mixed dye into drywall mud and it worked, but yeah, it didn't mean that you didn't have to seal the guitar just as much
Mhm.
to get that Carve fender level of smoothness.
Yeah,
you have to put on a bunch.
You do, and that's the funny thing. Yeah, we talk about Carve fender finish.
Mm-hmm.
Carve fenders don't absorb a bunch of material.
No.
So if you've ever looked at a Carve finish, it's thin.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to fill anything. So
but you don't have to, hose on a bunch of polyester sealer and leave it all there. You can grind a considerable amount of it back. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We grind. Yeah. It's not like it's swimming in sealer by the time. It's not.
People freak out about that. Oh my God, it's got thick, gloppy poly, which drives me nuts. But
yeah, I've seen enough other brand guitars finished in lacquer that have way more paint than anything we make have. So on the same topic, Sweet Tea says I can catalyze it, but it will also work as standard base once reduced. I'm just curious. I have solvent and H2O sealer if it won't be suitable. I can't tell you because I've never tried it.
You're in uncharted territory, Todd.
Yeah.
I think this is going to require some exploration.
I think so. Yeah.
But what I can tell you is that it doesn't really matter what you use as long as you get the finish that you want, right? I mean, I'm looking at a guitar that we did at the last Build a Classic Telly class, and it's an awesome finish. Mm-hmm. Now it's not what you see at Guitar Center on everything, but I think it's cool because it looks like wood. It's white, but you can still see and feel grain. I think it's rad, and I love that. That's the finish that I would want on my guitar. Yeah. If I was using ash, I would want that. As a matter of fact, Chris, I came up with a concept guitar today that I think you and I and a special guest will be building 2 of in September.
That's right. We're building 2 of them.
And
in 3 days.
I can't tell you who it is because I was very specifically asked to not say by the guy who is coming out to the shop. But there is a guitar player and builder of renown coming to the shop. It's not Billy Gibbons, okay? Bono. It's not Bono. So, but there's a guy who you've heard his songs on the radio. If you're Brad Engel, you might not have because you were born a little too late to have been around for this guy. But he's been around. He's been out there. He's going to be out here for 3 days, and we're going to put together some really cool guitars. Mm-hmm. And we think that it's going to be kind of the basis for maybe definitely a new signature model, and maybe a new class offering. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be really neat. Mm-hmm. And it'd be a good time. We're like, can we build a guitar in 3 days? Between 4 guitar builders, we can build 2 guitars.
There's going to be Chris and Mike Learn for at least a little bit of the time. Mike's going to be here. Myself and the mystery guitar player builder, who you guys have heard. So there's going to be 4 people. Mike and I were talking, and we're like, do you think that 4 guitar builders is like a recipe for success, or a recipe for like 4 people to argue about the way something ought to be done?
I think it's a recipe for success because I think we'll all have our eye on the prize.
Okay.
And that's a guitar in 3 days.
That's right.
Curtis Lee wants to know, have you all done any open pore finishes?
Let me just get it.
Yeah. Yes, we have. That's exactly what our durable thin finish is an open pore finish. Yeah.
Here, you want to show this off?
Sure. So it's probably hard to see, but this is open pore. You can actually feel the grain. You can feel the more open grain, and then the other parts are very, very flat. And this is what we call the durable thin finish. And it's a matte finish. You could buff it if you wanted to. I wouldn't suggest it.
You know why we call it the durable thin finish?
Because it's durable and thin.
That's right.
Yeah. Cool.
This is my favorite guitar that we've ever built in a Build a Classic Telly class. Because it's got elements of the stuff that we used to do. It's got the new CNC pick guard, which I think is totally rad. And plus it says Johnny Switchblade, which I think is fun. One pickup, and I love how absurd this control plate is. Because Chris goes, well, we could just rewire that bridge to a control plate and just make it. I'm like, what if we just put a regular control plate on there?
Yes, and
that had nothing.
Nothing. Because I figured you'd want to put just like a volume on there or something like that. And you said, well, let's just wire it straight to the jack. And I'm like, it says Johnny Switchblade on it. Yeah, let's do that. Why not?
I don't know who this Johnny Switchblade is, but I'm betting you that he doesn't need no volume control.
He doesn't have time for volume.
Hey, I'm Johnny Switchblade over here.
Yeah, Johnny Switchblade plays the guitar at crotch level and just,
it's in your face. So that's the finish that I was talking about, guys. How when I decide to build my daily driver, it's going to have this finish.
It's cool on video. It's even cooler in person.
That's right.
And I'm looking forward to trying this. Previously in the class, we always did dye. And this time we did, this is just white paint. This is just cream paint that I shot on raw wood and then applied the sealer over the top of that. And it worked really, really well. I was hoping it would work, and it did. And so if somebody wants to come to a class and do an aqua or a pink or a whatever color, as long as you're down with seeing some grain,
it's really cool.
You're never going to cover. It's never going to be completely opaque spraying wood. It's just going to keep soaking in. And
some woods work better than others for this. Ash works great
because there's so much open grain.
Yeah. I ordered a dozen body. Yeah. Okay. I ordered a dozen bodies and necks from Dan at Guitarwood Experts for classes. And I ordered 2 of the like a slightly nicer grade for the signature model that we're going to be doing with the guy who's coming out here that I can't tell you his name. But rest assured, they're going to be ash and they're going to be that durable thin finish, and you guys are going to totally, totally love it.
Yep.
I love the Johnny Switchblade model.
I think it's really neat, and I really like the color, and I'm looking forward to doing other colors. And I'm a little disappointed in myself that we didn't think of that earlier.
Well, we did and we didn't.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, but even, so one of the guys in a class, we brushed on black with a big foam brush, and that actually worked really well.
I'm shocked that you didn't spray it, but
talked about it. Well, because I wasn't sure. Well, for one, he didn't have a mask and he wanted to apply it. And, so, and 2, that we just never did it again. We're like, that worked really well. Oh, well.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is something we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it turned out really neat, and I'm looking forward. And I don't want to do a bunch of test pieces. I just want to do a guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
why you end
test
up
pieces are boring
with sticky pink and TV green.
I'm
not doing test pieces.
So in June, we've got a Build a Classic Fender, and it's all the way full. But if you guys want to come out to Build a Classic Telly, there's 1 spot left in the August class, and there are 2 or 3 spots left in the Build a Classic Set Neck in September. But other than that, we are jam up for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But there's 1 spot left for the Build and Paint with Mike Learn. So, and we're capping it at 8, which is 2 more than we had last time. There's 1 spot left. We had a guy sign up last night. He lives here in town, so that is going to be really cool. So looking forward to that.
E.R. Webster says, I feel called out since I just posted a test piece on Instagram. No, you can do test pieces.
Yeah, you can do
if
as many
want.
test bits as
Yeah,
you want.
that's all really good. And we test stuff out. So like the TV yellow, I didn't have anything to test it on because I didn't have any sealed up pieces of mahogany to try it. So
Yeah.
Mike Ivy wants to know, when
Mike.
finishing a highly figured top to really make the flaming pop, would it be a good idea to dye the top black, sand back, then apply the Simtech, and then finish with your see-through finish method?
If you've got a really, really flamey piece of wood, then there's no need to do that.
It'll pop as soon as you put.
If you got a so-so
on it.
piece, that's when you want to do that.
Yeah.
That's it says me. Big D might say no, you want to do the black stuff.
Mhm.
I don't do that.
I'm not a fan of really contrasting flamey tops. I like flame. I like seeing it. I like, really even stuff.
But if you've got a crazy flame piece of maple, there's no need to try to make the grain pop. It's just gonna pop.
Yeah, I think so. But you can do it if you want.
I mean, geez, man,
that'd be a good time for a test piece.
That quilt maple Kaiser blade popped like a mother bear, and it looked like it had nothing going on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's one of the neat things. I mean, and you can rub a little water on it and sort of see if it's going to do anything. But until you start putting, like real paint on it, it's not going to do anything.
So I would say no, but I know that I'm in the minority there, and guys who deal with a lot more figured maple than I do will tell you, yeah, you should make the grain pop a little bit, but I would say no. That's says me.
Here's a bummer
Okay.
question. Okay, guys, I attempted this from Jim Murray. Okay, guys,
Okay.
I attempted a
Hi,
metal
Jim.
flake finish, but I effed it up. It's got a few coats of 2K clear on it, but I want to start over. How do I get the clear and metal flake off?
I fear that you are going. What do you say? Would you try to remove that chemically or mechanically?
I would remove it mechanically every time.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can do it without burning through whatever sealer you used or something like that, or even get it down to a flat enough point where you don't necessarily feel like you have to get it all off.
Yeah.
You can proceed from there. You can proceed with a new base coat and then more metal flake and then more clear.
Yeah, I would say scraping and sanding are way easier and way better results than trying to chemically remove that paint.
Yeah, because chemically removing it takes it probably all the way down to the wood. You're going to have to go all the way to the wood at that point.
Yeah.
Sometimes that stuff, I'm not a big fan of chemically removing anything anymore.
Okay.
It can get into screw holes and stuff like that if it's a refinish and just cause all sorts of problems. And if you've got some okay power tools, getting that stuff off isn't going to be that big of a chore. It's a bummer, but it's not going to be that big of a deal.
I wonder why he wants to do it. Like what?
Tiny little thing, and you're rubbing it with 600 grit sandpaper. That's going to take you a while.
Yeah, do some damage, baby.
Yeah,
Get in there with some alacrity.
Alacrity. Yeah.
But so get in there and say. But I would say that if you just don't like the way the metal flake looks, send a message to Todd at Sweet Tea Guitars. He's got all kinds of candy colors. If you're like, I don't like the color of the metal flake, maybe you can spray up candy red or a candy something over it and really fairly radically change the way that metal flake looks. So there might be a way to do this without removing any of that metal flake. Give Todd your email address or send me an email and I'll give you Todd's email address. Yep. He sent us a bunch of candies that look really great. And if you have like, especially if you did like metal flake silver or something like that, a candy color would be like totally cool. So anyway.
Yep. K Cole 4001 says the control delete plate is cool. I couldn't get away with it, but it's definitely classy.
Why?
I just think you got to just play quieter.
Why? Yeah. Why couldn't you get away with it?
I don't know.
In what scenario do you ever run your guitar like sum down?
The only time Occasionally.
Okay.
I really, I guess I could play quieter.
The one time that I can think of where having a volume control on your guitar makes sense is when you're at Herman's Hideaway and you put the volume on your guitar at like half, and the sound guy goes, "Okay, that's fine," and you never hear it. So then you turn it up the rest of the way without turning over to your amp and going, boop,
Yeah.
and then the sound guy knows you cheated. But yeah, I think the guitars. All guitars always sound best when they're all the way up.
Yeah,
I think,
really,
says me.
really they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, there's times when you have to turn it down. Like,
wait a minute.
well,
Jim Jam Jimmy might disagree
Yeah.
because his super distortion
true.
has
yeah,
you
that's
put
true.
what did you put, treble bleed,
Treble bleed in it, yeah.
and he gets
yeah.
all kinds of cool
Mhm.
sonic variations. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But Johnny
I'll have to play
Switchblade,
around with that.
yeah, but Johnny Switchblade doesn't want that. He just wants balls to the wall.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Any other questions, or should we get to the toolkit?
We could talk about the
Demo.
toolkit.
Okay.
Yep. Heat gun and scraper that will work on heavy auto paint
Yeah.
on my guitar to remove all paint. Ugh. Heat gun, the problem with that is you're going to burn the guitar. You're going to burn the wood eventually.
And sometimes you set the paint on fire. Ask me how I know.
That's neat. Yeah, I do recall that. Yeah. Everybody thinks, oh man, this is going to suck to sand.
Yeah.
And one of the best ways, if you have a thickness sander,
Oh yeah.
the best way to get that initial paint off is to run it through the thickness sander.
Remember when
'Cause
we
you can
did
just
the
knock off just a
Yeah.
tick.
Remember when we did the Yngwie Malmsteen
Yeah.
guitar that was fabric top and back, and we
Uh-huh.
sent it through the thickness sander, and people were like, "No, oh my god, I can't believe it."
That had a surprising amount of cream paint and
Yep.
clear on it,
Yep.
and it was surprisingly not flat.
Yeah. But the guy who we did that for loved that guitar.
Yeah, it was
and
really neat when it was
yeah.
fun. When it was fun.
people were screaming at us to like, "I can't believe you're doing that to a new Yngwie."
perfectly good
Yeah.
polyester finished.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's not like they're not going to make more
Body.
Yngwies.
Yeah.
It's still a thing, right?
well, it's limited to the number they can
The
sell
number
per
they
year.
can sell, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
All right. So you want to do the kit?
yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the So guys, one of the things that is kind of new for this for classes starting the last class and all the ones after that is everyone's going to be issued a toolkit when they show up, and in the box of tools, there's a bunch of neat things. The reason that we did this was we wanted to eliminate some bottlenecks that we were having around, like who has what tools. And, oh, we only have one of those, so you guys are going to have to share. It's not a big deal if you have 2 people in the class. It's a bigger deal if you have 5. So one of the things that we're doing is everybody's going to be issued a toolbox with a bunch of tools in it. So let's just take a look at some of the things that you'll get.
Let's pull out the tray.
Okay, let's pull out the tray, and we'll start with the tray. Okay. So you'll get like a great big marker and a string winder and this stuff called screw wax, which we know, but this is from Bitterroot. This is awesome, you guys. You get a set of nippers from Bitterroot, which
Which are nice for fretting
and wiring. Yep.
Dual purpose.
You get a fret rocker. You get one of these cards that has like a bunch of different measurements on it. You know, for like it's a ruler basically. You know, some pencils, some of these under the string radius gauges, a couple of fixed handle screwdrivers, a plus and a minus. You ever call it that, a plus and a minus, Chris?
Uh-huh. No, I call it the old-fashioned and the new-fashioned.
Machinist scale. So here's some of the good stuff that we get. Everybody is issued. Everyone is issued a Z file, a Safe Edge Z file, because that is something that everyone's gonna have to radius or recrown their frets at class. So we just go ahead and issue you guys the best tool you can possibly use to do that. The other thing is new for now is everyone's getting a set of actual StewMac nut files. So what do you like about these, Chris, and what do you dislike about the stuff that we had previous to that?
What do I like about these?
Yeah, we've used those for.
Yeah, that they're really accurate, and that every time you buy a StewMac tool, you're pretty much buying the best tool you can buy.
I hate to say it, but yeah, you do.
That sounds like a plug for StewMac, but it's not. I've never actually seen new ones of these.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in the last class, we had the Chinese copy of this. And at first glance, they looked pretty good.
And I made a video about those. You guys will see it coming
up. And they turned out to not be all they could be, and they are on their way back. But anyway, these are, they're just really accurate, really nice. They last forever.
There's $200 worth of files in this box.
Yeah. But, it makes, versus, hey, can I see that file?
Yeah.
Hey, can I use that?
Who's got the 36 thousandths? Yeah.
Well, we even got down to the point where who's got the marker?
Yeah.
In some classes.
Yeah.
Well, here everybody's got a marker now, and it's nice to be able to walk up to a guy that you're trying to help and go, okay, well now get your big Phillips out.
So everybody gets a set of drill bits, a small set. Of course, you can still use the other.
Get a cute little.
Yeah.
It's nice.
There's a charger for that in here.
Mm-hmm.
You get a tape measure because this will save you a bunch of time when it's time to do scale stuff, like set your saddles to close.
Yeah.
And the whole like who's got don't have to ask anybody who's got a tape measure. There's one in your box. There's a protractor.
Favorite tool.
There's this little set of like little tiny bits for things like saddle adjustment, and this has a wrench for.
That's actually really cool.
You can use this for tuner buttons, or really what it's designed for is the three-way toggle switch. But this has a bunch of different bits, a bunch of different little Allen keys and screwdrivers and things like that. This we got from Music Nomad, not from StewMac, because the StewMac ones were.
And this had a couple more little things.
It had a couple other things that we liked.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a nut vise. These are like when it's time to make a nut, there's really nothing else that does as good of a job as this. So that's in the toolbox. Let's see. There's a box of pencils and some other like little blocks and sanding things. And finally, there's a set of calipers that they're digital. They do decimal, metric, and fraction, because as a guitar builder you switch from thousandths to millimeters to fractions and back again all the time. So everybody has their own set of calipers, so it's not like, where's my set of calipers, where's the calipers? So everybody has all of this stuff, and it's just kind of a cool thing that we were like, you know what, we need to issue everybody all of this stuff, because everybody needs to have, when they need it right then. They don't want to just sit around and wait.
Show off the sanding block, the foam pad.
No, I didn't show off the sanding block and the foam pad. You'll have to just suspend.
Somebody asked if this is the same stuff that we use to build guitars. Yeah. It's absolutely the same block and pad.
Yeah. No,
everything else, all the like good cutting stuff is the same that we use.
Yeah, we have a set of these nips.
Yeah, you get really good nut files. You get really good.
We don't have a blue fret rocker.
No, ours is silver,
because ours is old.
Black and red.
We didn't buy a bunch of new tools so we would match everybody.
No.
But these are the only other thing is we have the StewMac version of this.
Yeah. That's a neat tool.
Yeah.
But
like those calipers, those are absolutely the calipers that I use every day. The Z file is one that we use every day. We had lesser nut files, and they sucked. So I'm like, no, send them back. Let's just bite the bullet.
Yeah.
Buy once, cry once, and
it sucks when you have tool issues or when you have problems assembling. This is actually a nicer string winder than I have.
So if you guys want to put together a kit, Maybe I could do a video where we talk about like all these things and have like actual Amazon links to them if you guys want. I don't know what you guys want to see, but yeah. So everybody gets a drill. These are nice kits, and it's nice because everybody has the same stuff, and you don't have to borrow stuff. You know what I mean? And the last class, everybody did a really good job of, keeping their stuff. When classes get going, there's just crap everywhere. So
yeah, especially the last day because everybody's super excited to get their guitar done.
Yeah,
it actually starts on Thursday. Everybody's sort of jonesing and just put parts on and going.
Yeah, ooh, cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be looking at it, taking pictures, and then Friday morning comes. And
selfie.
Yeah, throwing parts on. You're like, whoa, slow down, slow down. We'll get there. Yeah. So
yeah, but yeah, that's absolutely the same stuff that we use when Chris and I use every day.
Yep.
So
yep.
And it stung buying all that stuff, guys.
It still stings.
It still stings. Yeah. Like I said, there's $200 worth of nut and fret files in these boxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that does not include any of the other stuff. So yeah.
But they'll be around. We'll have them for a long time, and it makes classes way easier. It paid off, already this first time.
Yeah.
It was almost worth it. Yeah, it's cool. And it makes it more enjoyable for the students.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to, yeah, it's just a better, the more classes we do, the better at it we get. And the more fun that we have and the more fun that you guys have. One of the things about the classes that I think is, hey, Chris, what is knowledge?
It's hard won.
That's right. But yeah, but you know how those, so this is a thing. People say knowledge is power.
Oh yeah.
Well, knowledge is potential power. So we give you guys a lot of the potential so what I mean is, we were talking about this at lunch yesterday. How many guys do you know who can recite, this minutia stuff about like the Fender from 1958, the Fender or the Gibson thing and what measurements it was and all these different things. They can recite all these things and they can tell you exactly all the correct information. How many of them ever built a guitar? So they have the knowledge of all these things, but they don't have, it's potential knowledge. What do you do with it? When it's paired with a bunch of tools, then maybe something, but yeah, without actually building it, you just don't really know. You just know a bunch of facts.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, cool. Steven Soba says,
hey, Steven,
if there was only one slot for tele class in August, it's gone. Believe it was confirmed.
Oh,
I think that sounds like he just signed up.
Sounds like he just signed up for
tele
it.
class, which is awesome.
That's cool.
And while you're looking that up, Daniel Helderman wants to know, what is good wood to practice making guitars on?
Poplar every day.
Doc Siltonson says poplar.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. It's easy to work. The machine's nice. It's inexpensive. It doesn't move around a lot.
Looks like Steven Soba just signed up. That's awesome.
Go. That's awesome. Cool, man.
Thank you, Steven. We're looking forward to seeing
it in August. August isn't that far away.
No, it
still feels
right
like February
around the
to
corner.
me, but
I know.
Here we are.
So poplar is always my go-to wood, but poplar has been supplanted a little bit by basswood.
Yeah.
Cost-wise.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay.
At Paxton.
Okay.
So here in Colorado, where Chris and I live, at one of the lumber yards that we go to, basswood is like 10 cents cheaper a board foot than poplar for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. It's 18 cents. Well, I don't know. But so for some reason or another, poplar went up. I don't know why, but it did. So, but actually basswood is another great one. But I would still say if you had this, I would still say poplar. If someone said, I want to build my first guitar, what should I build it out of? Poplar every time.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. There's lots of talk of the correct way to measure and what everybody's favorite.
Oh, you mean
is.
like decimal metric fraction?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm of the opinion that you need to know them all because people talk about different things in in different
Yeah.
measurements, and you have to be able to
Yeah.
know what that means.
So let me ask you this, Chris. What is half of 100 thousandths?
I was told there would be no
No,
math.
no, there's
What is half?
What is
of
half
100,
of
50
100
thousandths?
thousandths? Is 50,000.
Yes.
What is half of 42 millimeters?
20 and a half. How do you measure a half a millimeter? 42?
21 millimeters.
Oh, I thought you said 41.
I said
21.
42.
Okay, 21.
What is half of 3 and 9/16 inches?
1 and 5/8.
Is it really?
Maybe.
Yeah. So sometimes, like if like finding the center of stuff.
Did you say 9/16?
Yeah.
No, 11 37.
37ths.
Yeah.
So finding the center point of something is really tricky when you're using fractions. It's way easier when you're using the metric system.
Yeah. Well, so people measure bodies, and they measure them in fractions.
Yep.
1 3/4, 1 5/8.
Yep.
But then you go to something else like I'm trying to think of something on a guitar where you would measure.
Wait a minute. Wait, I got it.
Okay.
A neck pocket.
Uh-huh.
So
Yes.
So a standard neck pocket is, I think,
5/8.
5/8.
Let's just say 5/8.
and Warmoth has a modification that you can buy. It's the
720.
720.
Right? Yeah.
So what's that in fraction?
11/37 hundredths. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you end up getting is you get these weird measurements. Like
Mhm.
we had a guy here who's a carpenter.
Mhm.
Carpenters have a completely different language
They
than
only have
you
to,
or
they only
I.
have to measure to a
Yes.
certain point.
So Bob was awesome. I love that guy. And he was like, "Oh yeah, so it's a fat 9."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay, cool.
Yeah, great.
Fuck is a fat 9?"
Yeah, I don't even know what a 9 is, let alone a fat one.
Fat 9 or a skinny 2.
Yeah, a skinny
Huh?
3. Yeah.
So-
yeah.
So again, carpenters have different languages
Uh-huh.
than you and I do. So what he means is a 16th is so 9/16
Yeah.
or would be a 9.
Yeah.
He wouldn't say,
yeah,
they don't
3, 5,
say
7, 9, 12.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
say 9/16. He says 9.
11.
He needs
13.
that needs to be
There we go.
5 and 9 or
Yeah.
something. And if it needs to be a little over, it's a fat 9.
Yeah.
It needs to be a little under. Yeah, you got it. A skinny 9.
Because he's framing
Yeah.
with big giant things of wood
Yeah.
that will sort of
Yeah.
fit if it's within a 16.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more than good
yeah.
enough.
And it took me 4 days before
So-
I finally figured out he was talking about 16.
So if you only measure in fractions, you get some kind of cheats like that. And if you can switch back and forth from decimal to metric to
Mhm.
fraction, that makes all the sense in the world. And
It
you know
does.
who rammed that home for me more than anybody? I mean, we did that, but you know who put it into verbalized it for me? Steve from Maximum Guitars,
Yeah.
who is a super cool guy, and he teaches his classes at Red Rocks Community College, which are not as good as ours. No, they're excellent classes. They're longer than ours.
Yeah.
And we don't offer college credit for ours, but we have way more beer. So, but he's like, yeah, guys, you got to be able to switch from one to the other to the other.
Mm-hmm. Well, and sometimes, it's just, I'll grab the caliper and I'll measure, and depending on what I'm measuring, it's easier to decipher it in decimal or in fractions.
Absolutely.
If it's close to a fraction, then I'm good. But if it's anything, and fractions are good for 16ths, not so good for 30 seconds. It starts getting hard there.
Yeah, starts to
And
get
so you
dicey.
you want to do decimals then.
But the other thing is, like, if your calipers have a fraction on them, sometimes it's like 41, 60. Well, what the hell is that? What's the next one bigger or smaller that I recognize?
With the digital calipers, I do not like measuring in fractions.
No.
I have to measure in decimals.
Yeah.
Then I have to think about it.
Then I have to.
What's 620?
Do you ever go to the fraction thing and go, what's 5/16 in decimal, and then you go to the fraction and then switch it to decimal?
Oh, it's slightly smaller.
Yeah,
it's a short
3-0. Yeah, it's a 3 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't know, and
That's
I don't
why I
care.
like those orange calipers.
Those were awesome analog
They don't
calipers.
make them anymore.
Yeah, no,
Apparently.
I'm sure
I'm
some.
bummed. And another industry I was in, We used to talk about suspension travel on mountain bikes, and you would say things like, yeah, it's got 120 in front and 4 inches in the back. What? And that was
120 millimeter?
120 millimeters,
Okay.
which is about 5 inches,
Okay.
like 4.9 and 4 inches in the back.
Okay.
And then I'd have to go, wait, it's about 5 in front, 4 in the back. Okay.
Okay.
But that's how, and that even catalogs were that way. It was like, we need to pick one or the other here, guys.
I think that you did right. You use them all.
Yeah.
Use everything to your advantage.
Yeah.
We're all using this stuff. Use it up.
Yeah.
So, but it's absolutely 100% necessary for everyone to have their own set of calipers, their own measuring tape, stuff like that.
And it's always good to know how to use that stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll sit around and just measure things.
Really?
Well, not at home.
Look, that's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, in bed.
Chris
late
is
at
on
night.
the couch.
Yeah.
I wonder how big my nose is.
I wonder how thick this book is.
How big is my head?
I wonder if I could find half of this book just by, yeah.
All right. Are there any more questions before
yeah.
we wrap it up? Let's
Ed
get
Billy
to
B and Blues
Hey, Ed.
has one for a bolt-on neck carve top. Would you drill your inserts flat to the neck heel or with the neck pocket angle? Thanks.
Okay. Would you drill the neck inserts? I'm assuming he's talking about the inserts that go into the neck, not the string ferrules, right? Or the neck bolt ferrules, I mean.
Yeah. I would drill whatever the bolts through the body are. If those are angled, then I would complete the angle.
Yep.
If those are straight and perpendicular to the body, I would drill even if the neck was angled and ultimately you level out the neck and the holes are going at an angle. But I would still drill everything straight off the body.
Now
That's what I would do.
we angle our necks, not the neck pockets. So what we normally do is we still put the fretboard on the face of the drill press, and then if the heel is angled, we just drill straight. And that so we're actually perpendicular to the fretboard. Whatever that's what we do. And you know what? I mean, you're talking about less than 2 degrees. It's really probably not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
If you got a little wiggle room in the
I think screws will, as they're going in, they will sort of follow the trajectory if you had to drill it straight. But yeah, we just drill them the same. Because usually if you're in that situation, you're not probably using a neck plate. You're using the cool little ferrules, and you want those to look right. So you're going to drill those in the hole that the bolt goes through straight, not at an angle. And then whatever the neck comes out is what it comes out.
It is rare that we do carve tops with bolt-on necks, though.
Yeah, but really, I don't know that makes a whole lot of difference in it. I would still
glue is certainly a lot easier to work with than a screw angle.
But I would. Yeah, he says nothing's drilled yet. I would drill. Oh, so I see what he's saying. Maybe because it's a carve top, it's hard to get it straight and flush and going the right way. I think I would maybe put some blocks around it and get a level and try and drill them straight to start with.
Or glue it in. That would save it.
Yep,
but I know you didn't ask that, but yeah. But I always drill. I drill the neck holes perpendicular to the fretboard, and I drill the holes through the body perpendicular to the back.
Yes.
I don't drill perpendicular to the carve. I drill perpendicular to.
And if it's got a flat back, you can drill the holes perpendicular. You don't have to drill them on the carve top.
So I'm drilling something. So I'm going this way onto something this way. So really, it just doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, you could probably make it matter if you had a really like if you had a 4-degree Les Paul headstock that had a 2-degree pickup plane and a 2-degree neck pocket, or I'm sorry, bridge. that could be a big deal. But if you're just 2 degrees or less, 1.8, which I think is what we use, I think it's a big shake. It's sort of like putting a shim. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you had a fender that had straight holes through the body and straight holes into the neck, and you put a shim in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
still operational.
Where I know the bolts go.
Yep.
And they screws. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of talk on sanding and polishing Easy Slide, which is our graphite stuff. And
why would you sand and polish
it? Looks like a DeLorean when it's at 1500. But a DeLorean is silver, and this stuff's black.
Maybe it gets. It would never have occurred to me to sand and polish Easy Slide. That's fun.
Maybe, yeah. We haven't used as much of that stuff as we threatened to.
We have a gallon of it.
Yeah. I don't want to use it all up. Well, like the old stuff, and this stuff dries, and I don't think you get black all over your hands. So we can use it.
Yeah.
Obviously not. It looks like a DeLorean.
Don't go 88 miles an hour.
Yeah. So I should, if we don't have it in there, I've still been using tape. I should just start slathering some of that.
I frankly, I forgot we had that stuff. Plus, it's in a gallon jug.
We got the cute little one.
I know. I got it. I don't even know where that is. I think it's with the gallon.
Yeah.
We should get some of that and put it together.
And it's still conductive, so you can polish the bejesus.
Why would it not be? Yeah, that's cool.
Conductive.
I love that stuff, and I'm glad that you guys got some of it because it was really cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I mean, it's lasted us forever.
We have never had to replace the original cap. Did we use it on anything?
Yeah, we put it in a bunch and then sealed over the top of them.
Like a bunch or one thing, and then we did a video.
A couple, yeah.
I think we wanted to try to make sure it worked, and it does.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just, like I said, I kind of spaced out that we had it, actually, frankly.
I think sometimes the reason that I use it is I don't use it is because with the adhesive stuff, you just stick it on and you can move on to the next step. And with that stuff, you got to let it dry for a little while. And
one of the things that I think we got that right before the Mike Learn class, and we used DMGs for all that stuff, so we didn't have to paint shielding in there because it's an active pickup. So Anyway, well, that's cool, you guys. I'm glad you're getting cool stuff. Very excellent.
Yeah.
So
cool. Well, I think we're done.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us for another wildly exciting video where we answer your questions and really just sort of free form whatever
a lot of
Matt
questions
and Chris
nobody asked.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I love Thursdays because they're a lot. I love everything that we do. Do we have an exciting reveal for tomorrow, Chris?
Potentially, yes.
We do, don't we?
I'm not going to say anything after today's TV green debacle.
Okay.
Things could go completely off the rails. We have to make a nut and put strings and tuners on a guitar.
But that's it.
It could go wildly wrong.
By
noon, I could be stomping out here like
son of a beehiver. Yeah. I think that I predict that by 3:00 you'll be 2 beers in, and you'll be like, yeah.
No, because I got to do that. I got. There's a lot to do.
I know.
So. It's not class Friday.
No.
Yeah.
But it could be
a completely different thing.
Guys, we're going to be talking about the Great Guitar Build-Off this Sunday and why we will no longer be doing reaction videos. But lots more good stuff coming up on Sunday. Of course, the lovely and talented Mrs. Toast will be here, and she'll be like, I'm sure, but she will be in rare form. Don't ask me how I know.
Yeah.
So until next time, guys, this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that life is short. You might as well have a cool guitar. And if you are so smart, you should come to one of our classes and build it yourself. We will help you the entire way through. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.